everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to start a video about the new Shadow and Bone season because I really love that world. I love the Grishaverse, so I am very invested in the TV show as well. I want it to be great. For a little bit of context, when the first season came out, I was rereading King of Scars and then reading Rule of Wolves, so I was like super invested in the world at that point, and I was obsessed with the first season. I watched it 2 times when it came out, and I also rewatched it quite recently just to prepare for the second season, and I still really loved it. I think that the first season is doing so many things so well. I really love the idea of including the crows in the original Shadow and Bone storyline. Now, I will say that I will probably spoil all of the Grishaverse books in here at some point, and also season 1 and probably also season 2, so make sure that you don't mind the spoilers or that you have consumed all of the content before you watch this. I think the second season is so intriguing because we get some new characters again, characters that are very beloved. We get Stormhunt, we get Wylan and Tamar and Talia. I think that's like the major ones, so I'm very excited. But I also have to admit that I'm very worried about Stormhunt right now because, yeah, I don't know. I'm so particular with this character, and I'm just afraid that it will not live up to my expectations. But so far the casting has been quite good, so maybe I get lucky and this character will also work for me. Last night I watched the first episode and I wasn't quite sure whether they would do like a time jump or whether it would just get back into the storyline. And we actually start with Alina and Mel and their story. So we see them still on the ship and then arriving in Novi Zem. They have traveled and we know that they're looking for the Sea Whip now. And we see them arrive with the ship and go through immigration, and that's where Alina learns that the fold is actually expanding, which obviously makes them even more kind of anxious to find the Sea Whip and try to expand Alina's powers. And there were some things that I thought were a bit weird about the first episode with that. So first of all, they are at some point in kind of a hotel room and then they have their like first kiss, and I felt like for all the pining of the first season, that felt like so quick and so, I don't know, it was just so easy. Like I did not expect that they would just kind of throw it away like that. So that was something that was interesting. And then they part ways and Alina is going to a library and Mel is asking people for the Sea Whip, so basically he's trying to find out where the Sea Whip might be. And what I find so confusing about the TV show is that they seem to have no language barriers at all. Like there's this one scene where Mel thanks the fisherman with a term that is not English, so it would suggest that they have their own language. But then they all talk to each other and they can read each other's languages and maps and whatever. And it's just so confusing to me because like this is a whole world and a lot of these countries have been at war for a time. So why can they all communicate with each other? Like it feels a bit lazy to me in that regard, but it is fun to see more of the world, so I'm glad that they're traveling around a little bit so we get to see the other parts. Just the whole thing that they all seem to speak Rafgan, sometimes with an accent, sometimes not. It's just a bit odd to me. Also, when they go through the immigration, they claim to be from Catterdam, which would also suggest that they speak a different language, but it's all just English in the show, so that's really weird. And then the other thing that I thought was quite weird, Alina then finds out that there is a very high price for their hats, basically, and they almost get captured. And what I found so weird is, first, why is the first army there? Like, it did not make sense to me. Like, they're, like, are they trying to get back the refugees or what? Because, like, nobody knew where they went. Like, nobody even knew whether they survived, to be honest. And that, yeah, that didn't make sense. And then they get like hunted, and then suddenly all the local people start helping Alina, which I guess is a nod to the like sun cult thing that will develop. And then we have the crows who are back in Catterdam, and we actually pick up with their storyline a little bit earlier, because when they get back, they learn that Pekka Rollins has taken over everything. So he now owns the Crow Club, and then he also blames the death on them. So there's a lot going on there. We do get like 5 crows complete now, so we have Nina joining them, and then we also get Wylan now. With Wylan, I'm a bit confused because I don't remember the books very well. I thought he was like the son of one of the like very wealthy people. So I'm like, did he live in like a weird like shop where he experimented on stuff? I don't remember. But he's really cute. I think they casted him really well. And then we also have a first meeting of Stormhand and Jasper and Cass. And I'm having trouble with Stormhand because like I feel like Jasper just, yeah, he played his part very well, and he was shining like a bright star. And yeah, Stormhunt did not. Let's just say that. Like, I think he takes himself too seriously. He doesn't have the charm. It doesn't spark. So yeah, I'm really worried about that. But yeah, that was just a very short scene, and then at the end, we see his ship, we see Tamar and Talia for the first time. I think their dynamic is probably going to be really good. Like, I have a good feeling with those two. I think that they look exactly the way that they should look. It's actually amazing to me how they found these actors. That's like my kind of first impression. I'm also a little bit confused because I think they're gonna change the whole kind of timeline with the crows, because right now we already got a few glimpses of Cass's backstory, why he's always wearing the gloves, and we also have the start of the war with Pekka Rollins. So I think in the books that happens after some stuff in Six of Crows. So yeah, it seems like they're really changing the timelines there. So I'm intrigued to see where that goes. I'm intrigued. I'm gonna watch the second episode tonight, maybe even the third, we'll see about that, and I'll keep you updated. So I watched the second episode of Shadow and Bone, and I must say my overall mood is disappointed so far. It's just not what I wanted it to be. There are a couple of things where I feel like the first season and the second season just don't fit together. One of them, for example, being that I really didn't like how they portrayed the amplifier in the first season, with it like sinking into Alina's skin. And now, for example, we see Tamar's amplifier, and she's basically wearing it as an earring. So I really don't understand how that fits together, but oh well. Also, something that one of my friends hinted at is that you know, in the second season, they say that Stormhunt was behind the whole thing with the crows, like he was the one to set out the Million Kruger for this thing. But that doesn't really make sense, because like in the first season, the boy that traveled through the fold and told them about Alina, he actually gets shot, and that's something that Stormhunt would not appreciate. So yeah, I just feel like the puzzle pieces don't really fit together. I still don't feel Stormhunt at all, like it's not working. I was really glad he got to say his little line about, you know, improbable and impossible, but apart from that, I don't know, it's just not working. I think that Talia and Tamar are great. I love that Talia is always eating something. That's hilarious to me. I like that when we have a character like that in like a TV show or movie or something like that. So I love them. The ship is pretty. I think that the Sea Whip actually looked really cool. I really like the way they designed her. It didn't look like too much CGI, I felt like, so I was quite surprised how well it looked. But then it was like killed in like 2 seconds. And my friend was like, yeah, that's how it happened in the book as well. And I'm like, I don't remember that. It was, I think, 2016 when I read it. So I have no idea. But I was quite disappointed with how fast that was. And also just, yeah, it just felt a bit boring. You know, they were asking a couple of questions, then they were on the boat, then they found it without any problem because Mel is such a great tracker, and then they killed it and that's it. So I don't know, it felt a bit boring to me. So I do appreciate the Crow's storyline so much more. And with my friend, we've also been a little bit confused that the stuff that happens now is like basically stuff that happens like late in the Six of Crows series. So we have the war with Pecker Rollins now, and you know, the like weird person that goes after Nash and stuff like that. But I do enjoy them so much. I think that they cast Wyland so well. Like, his moments with Jasper are so precious. They're so cute together. And Jasper is so clueless and I love it. And Nina is amazing. They found the perfect actress for that. And so, yeah, I care so much more about the Crows, which is not very surprising because that's how it was with the books as well. But yeah, I've really hoped that they could make Alina's storyline equally amazing as it was in the first book, but for me right now it's not how it feels. So we'll see where it goes. I'm gonna watch the third episode tonight and maybe things will turn around, we'll see. I don't really remember a lot from the books, so I might still get surprised. So last night I watched the third episode of Shadow and Bone, and I think this is the episode that might actually turn things around for me. I really enjoyed this one, and maybe it was because we finally got Sawyer in an episode, but I think it was more than that. I think that the first 2 episodes felt so rushed to me. There was a lot going on and not all of it made sense, to be honest. And I feel like in this one, things slowed down a little bit, especially in the Crows part, because, yeah, nothing really was happening. We just have them kind of figuring out what the next steps might be. And with the Alina part also, we have them arriving through the fold. Obviously, she failed at destroying it, which, you know, you would expect in the third episode. But yeah, now they are at the place where all the Grisha escaped to that are not with Darkling right now. So we have that a little bit of a calm experience right now. I must say, for the Alina storyline, I think that the way that Nikolai revealed who he is was just a bit underwhelming. I don't know. I don't remember how it was done in the books, but yeah, having that in the third episode already, and then just it being like, you know, like, hi, I'm here now. Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like they could have made it maybe a little bit more interesting, but maybe it is just exactly how it was in the book, and I was probably underwhelmed with that as well. And then also we have the scene where Nikolai proposes to Alina for the alliance, and again I found that to be so underwhelming. I just thought you could have done something good with that. I don't know. For now, I just find Nikolai underwhelming, to be honest. The episode ends with Alina knocking at his door like in the middle of the night and say that she has made up her mind. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I wanted it to be a little bit more, and maybe that's just because it is more in my head. I just missed something there. But I'll be honest, if we get a scene with Nikolai and Sawyer together, I will probably die. So I don't know if they will meet in this season. We'll see. I loved the Sawyer scene. Sawyer is my favorite character, so I was really glad to see her back. I think that the way the actress plays her as well is really good. Like, I just love this dynamic that she doesn't really like Alina, but that doesn't stop her from seeing that this is the right path and this is the person that she needs to get where she wants to be. So I really appreciate that. I think that it is a very interesting perspective on female relationships. Because, yeah, you could say that, yeah, like she's the mean girl and she doesn't like other girls and stuff like that. But I think the way that it is brought up is so well reflected. She even calls it jealousy and stuff. She does not apologize. And that's also something I love about her, because Sonia is not sorry for who she is, and I can appreciate that a lot. So yeah, I love that scene. So far, probably my favorite from the Alina storyline. We have the scene where the Darkling fucking cuts off Bagra's finger, and I was basically David in that scene. I was like, no. We also, and I'm not quite ready for how that's gonna go now, we have the scene with Genya and David trying to flee, and then Genya getting surprised by the Darkling and attacked by his shadow creature. And obviously I knew that this was coming, but it is still one of the most heartbreaking things in this story. So yeah, we haven't seen Genya since then, so I guess for people who don't know the books, they would probably assume that she's dead, but if you've read the book, you know that's not true. So yeah, we will probably see her again in the next episode, I presume, and I just, yeah, I'm not ready, to be honest. And then David got away, and he's got the book with, what's his name, Morosova's Secrets, so yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that goes. I don't remember those parts of the book very well, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We have the crows, obviously, so we see Matthias again, and his fight scene was quite glorious. I do really like how they portray him in the show. I love the actor. I think he's doing really well with the character. The way that in the beginning of the fight you see that he's on purpose not pushing back, but then he just snaps and he just destroys the other guy. Yeah, it's well done, it's well done. And the fact that Nina even sees it and then gets approached by Pekka Rollins as well is intriguing now. With Nina, you never quite know what she's gonna do, you know? So we have that, and then apart from that, we have the amazing fight of Inej, where she kills the other guy. That was quite different from the books, I think, because if I remember correctly, doesn't she kill that person on the rooftop? I don't quite remember, but still it was quite well done. And yeah, she just had her little like queen moment, and I love that for her. We also have like this kind of intense scene between Inej and Kaz when he tells her why he's going after Pekka Rollins, and then Nina kind of yeah, just interrupting them. Which was also a little bit evil, but a very nice scene. I really enjoyed that one. And obviously we have Wylan and Jasper, and they're just the cutest. Like, oh, I can't wait for more scenes of them. I think they work really well together. I love the Wylan guy. Like, the actor is amazing. He's so adorable. And also Jasper fixing the piano and stuff like that. So I think it's interesting that in the show we learn so early on that Jasper is also a Grisha. So yeah, I'm having a great time with that third episode, and I really hope this is the turning point and that from now on I will be obsessed with it, so fingers crossed. So, 2 days ago now, I watched the 4th episode of Shadow and Bone, and I wanted to give you a quick update. Now, I'm having a migraine, so my memory isn't the best, so this is probably gonna be quite quick, but I really enjoyed the 4th episode. This is definitely the end of the Siege and Storm arc, so we are finishing off with the storyline of that book, and starting from the next episode, I guess we will go into the Ruin and Rising arc, and we have the whole, like, celebration scene. Now they changed stuff up a little bit. I actually read up on a couple of things because I wasn't really sure how they worked in the books anymore. But basically what we have here now is not Nikolai's birthday, but the celebration of their engagement. So Alina has agreed to be engaged to Nikolai for show, so they can have this power. But then obviously Nikolai's brother invites lots of people, and so the Darkling knows where to attack them, and that is exactly what happens. Now, yeah, that was a scene that I was interested to see how it would go, and I think they did quite a good job with that, also with like Alina talking to the Darkling again in her head, and then they're having this little fight off where we can see that even Alina's power is no match to the, what are they called, like the shadow monsters, whatever. My Russian is not on today. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. And then we also see Genya for the first time after her attack. I think they did a good job with it, but I definitely imagined it to be kind of worse. Like right now, she's basically matching the Darkling now. So yeah, I think they could have done a little bit more with the like makeup, but I think it is fine. It definitely gets the point across. And then we see her and Bagra escape as well. So that will definitely change things up now as well. And I loved that Genya got the moment where she destroyed the lab. I really like empowered her in that one to get at least some of her feelings out. And with the crows, we see their whole like arc with Pekka Rollins come to an end. I also really enjoyed that. I just also always like their kind of like plotting and getting things done modes. I think that they're shot really well. I really like that. We do see Cass like been beaten up quite a bit and I felt bad for him, but yeah, he's definitely someone who can take it in. And yeah, the ending was just so sweet. We see like Jesper and Wylan giving it a shot, and then we obviously have the Inash Cass scene where Cass gives her like her freedom papers and yeah, basically tells her to go away because he wants to protect her, but he obviously makes it sound like he doesn't need her anymore. So yeah, that was quite an intense scene, and I don't really remember how it goes on from there in the books as well, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely some feelings were had in that episode, and I just really enjoyed it a lot. Now, where we left off, we have the tunnels, and I have very bad memories of the tunnels. Like, I hated that bit in the books, so I hope they change it up a little bit in the series, because I don't want moping Alina, because like Mel has been sent away and basically sentenced to death because he, what do you call it, like he ran away from the military. So yeah, we'll see. I'm intrigued. I will probably watch the next episode tonight when my migraine is better and keep you updated.